This is CNN Breaking News.
Good evening. This is Mujahed Kobbe with ASS News, and we are just moments away from another press briefing with Andrew Cuomo.
Oh, hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I have a couple quick announcements to make, and then I'll open the floor to the reporters. Those little fuck bags. First of all, we've had a huge decrease in grandmothers dying. Wink. On the positive, on the negative side, we've had, unfortunately, a huge increase in grandfathers dying. But rest assured, we'll get to the bottom of this. Now, with that, I'd like to open the floor to any one of you reporters who are only looking to destroy me. Yes, you.
Mr. Cuomo, on the accusations that have been coming out recently, it's on three women coming out on accusations of sexual harassment and on the different ways that you have inappropriately touched them and tried to kiss them. You've come out to say that this is your normal interaction with people. Do you mind doing a little demonstration on your normal greetings?
Yes, as I've said before, time and time again, this is how I greet people. And to demonstrate, I've brought a doll to show you exactly how I do it. What I start off with is I cup them right down here. And if I'm not able to get both hands on them, on the head, and I usually, before I go in, I basically ask if I could kiss them. And when I do, right up the nose. But in case I can't get both hands, if I'm like, if their face is too far away, sometimes I'll cup them down there. And, that's everybody that I've approached, man, woman, you name it, pets. That's just how it is. And I'm shocked as anyone that people think that this is inappropriate. I thought this was how my father did it. And this is how everyone has.
How your father did? Is this how you greet your brother?
This is how in the Cuomo household, this is how we say hello and I love you.
Okay. Moving on. On the recent reports that have come out on you guys hiding the death count of grandmothers and grandfathers who have died in nursing homes, why is it that you go to threatening your aides like you're a mob boss?
Well, I wouldn't say threaten is a very harsh term. I don't threaten. That is not something that I do. What I do is I tell them that if they're going to tell the press about this, I will break their fucking neck. And I mean that in a joking way, because of course, if I broke their neck, they'd be dead, and that's murder. So, that's just how we talk in the office.
And don't find that to be threatening or inappropriate?
Hey, when I was growing up, me and my brother Chris, not only would we grope each other and, cup each other's balls, but we'd oftentimes threaten to murder each other. And that's just how we were. That's how my dad did it. And that's how my brother does it. And I thought it was a sign of respect.
Okay. And speaking of your brother, do you think you're going to get on CNN and onto his show to have him suck your dick live on TV as he did during the COVID pandemic? To hide the fact of how shit you were doing as a governor?
Yes. I think that sounds like a very a very, very sound strategy. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to call my brother Chris now. Hold on. There's a tone. I have him on speed dial. In fact, I actually had him on hold. Hello, Chris? Yes, it's your brother. No, not that brother. The other brother. The one that, that one. Listen, you got time tonight? Oh, your show's over? Well, come on down here. We'll do it anyways. Looks like we're going to do it tonight anyways. If there aren't any more questions, I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. And Habibis, welcome to another Habibi Power Hour.
You can go find hundreds of pictures of me kissing people. It is my usual and customary way of grief.
I wish I never would have fucked that Trump. I wish it never would have happened. And it's not that the attacks I've been through. I'm so sick of fucking Donald Trump, man. But who knows? Who knows? I may even decide to beat them for a third time.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. That was hastily put together, but we're all here.
I think you did a good job. I mean, your accent is like, I don't think anyone does a better Cuomo.
I mean,
not Cuomo. Not how do you say his actual name?
Cuomo.
Okay, so not Cuomo, but Cuomo.
Cuomo. That's right. Yeah, welcome, Habibis. Get settled in. Hope you all doing okay. Quick couple announcements. We were going to have Red Stephen Miller on the show tonight, but it didn't work out with his schedule. So just a quick programming note. We're going to have him on this weekend for our premium episode. Should be a fun discussion. If you haven't already, go ahead and sub to our Patreon at patreon.com/Habibi Bros to catch all of our premium episodes. You can watch and or listen. However, if you listen, you probably will miss out on a lot of the fun stuff that we actually do, which Jay does literally every segment. And we're going to open up by talking about the very first thing that we just had this cold open about, and that is the fact that Andrew Cuomo is currently in a lot of hot water. But I don't know if you saw, this is kind of how his actual press conference went. I shit you not, some of the stuff that he actually said, we kind of referenced. I mean, yeah. this I'm going to just play a quick, I don't actually know how long this clip is. I probably should, I don't think I should play it. In fact, oh, here it is. Hold on one second. I got it for you.
I got the vaccine. You got the vaccine. They got the vaccine. We got the vaccine. We can get back to normal. Let me inform you. Let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me. If Doc says it's good, then trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine. Alright, there is none higher. DMC, I will inspire. Time for us to trust and not debate. The vaccine, believe it's safe to take. 9 out of 10 people won't get sick. That's 90% effective and legit. This COVID thing is real and it will find you. It's killing our people. Let me remind you. Back in the days, there was polio, smallpox. Back in the days, measles and mumps, man. Back in the days, but because of the vaccines, none of those days. Vaccines, they work to trigger immunity. 2 shots, we got antibody security. We gotta act now. No need to wait. Get your vaccine before it's too late. For real.
I got you fuckers so good.
Dude, that's new Rick roll. I swear to God, it's so fucking bad. It's kind of catchy though when he goes to the chorus.
I know.
Like, you know.
I've had it stuck in my head a bunch, but
No, but that's what you guys should do is try to get Mute Siraj to trend on Twitter.
Oh man, that just felt so good because I completely led you astray with thinking I was going to play an actual clip of Andrew Cuomo and just rolling that shit out.
Ruined it so
man.
bad.
So good. Anyways,
which white boomer thought that was a good idea?
I don't know, but
her name's got to be Karen.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Back in the day. They probably even wrote the lyrics. I mean, it's so bad.
No joke. I actually wanted to play that as my background music the entire time, just on loop last night in my Twitch stream. It was. I was so close to doing it. Everyone was like, "I'm gonna leave right now." I mean, just look at the comments right now. You just got boom.
Fuck you.
Allah will not forgive you for this one, Habibi.
That's for sure. Prison, baby.
Imprisonment. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God. I love you, Habibi.
Man. So good.
So
but
good.
Anthony, he's breaking the mold. He's saying, not gonna lie, this song is lit. Anthony is. So for those of you who are not aware, Andrew Cuomo, he did a press conference earlier today, and I'm not going to play a clip from it because I'm pretty sure it's way too long. So we're just going to leave it at basically how he said that he normally kisses and hugs people as a way of greeting them. Like he says he does it with everyone. And Anna Rook, or I think it's Ruck. I don't know how you pronounce her last name.
I said, how's it spelled?
It's R-U-C-H.
R-U-C-H?
Mm-hmm.
Ruck.
Ruck. Okay, so we'll just call her Anna Ruck. So she and she is the third woman to come forward and accuse the New York governor of sexual harassment and inappropriate touching. In an article with the New York Times, she had never met the governor before encountering him at a crowded New York wedding reception in September 2019. Remember those days when you can go to weddings and didn't have to worry about fucking COVID?
Well, thank God for COVID, because now you don't have to go to weddings.
Yeah, now you don't have weddings. Basically what happened was, so Cuomo was working the room. He toasted the newlyweds, and when he came upon Ruck, Ruck thanked him for his kind words about her friends. But then what happened next instantly, she said unsettled her. Cuomo put his hands on Miss Ruck's bare lower back. When she removed his hand with her own, Cuomo then remarked that she seemed quote unquote aggressive and placed his hands on her cheeks. He asked if he could then kiss her loudly enough for a friend standing nearby to hear. And there's, I don't know if you saw it or if anyone saw it, but there is a photo, and let me just pull that up right now. This is the photo. Look how uncomfortable she looks. You
see it.
It just, you feel for it. Like that is the face of terror right there.
Right. That's not joking around or anything like that. That's a really bad photo on his part. I mean, and for him to just like brush it all away, and it's so fucking insane watching it happen in real time. Yeah, like how he's just nonchalantly brushing it away and stuff. And
yeah, I mean, look at how he's biting that lip. If you zoom in even more, it's like, oh god, what happened there? It looks like he's just like really turned on right now. You've seen the Lin-Manuel Miranda lip bite.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have this face unless Chris is sucking his dick. The same face he makes. Yeah. Exactly the same thing. I mean, how this guy is not resigning and how we are not hearing for like more and more people calling for his resignation is just mind-boggling to me. I mean, and it's not just over the sexual harassment stuff too. It's that and all of the incompetence he's been completely shown to do. And every story that comes out that showcases what a complete piece of shit this guy is, that we all knew he was, is just more egg in the faces of the New York Times, Washington Post, and Molly at the Daily Beast, how they were just propping this guy up as a fucking 2021 front runner to run against Trump. It's just amazing that they'll just make the worst of them into a hero because they're like, oh my God, Trump's so evil.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Molly, she wrote this column in the Daily Beast titled My Cuomo Crush turned out to be Stockholm Syndrome, saying it was her absolute worst take she's ever made. And look, she also mentioned one of her other really bad takes is that Biden should drop out a few days before he won South Carolina. Look,
what's the
she's
subhead?
taking it on the chin. I think she realized how badly she fucked up. Would she give other people the benefit of the doubt? I don't know. We'll find out. You know, sometimes you don't realize how badly some people fuck up until you have your own big fuck ups, and this is a big fuck up.
It's a huge fuck up.
Yeah,
and it's hilarious. One of the best ones, a running skit you're doing on what's it called on Twitter. It's like classic Cuomo for Justin Rubin, because you do like the worst thing Cuomo's doing, and then you have her tweet side by side saying classic Cuomo. It's just so good.
Yeah. Now Jennifer Rubin is basically calling for not just Cuomo to resign, but also Ronnie Jackson, because he was, I guess, swept up in, sexual harassment allegations as well. But it's always like that. It's always this scenario where, and this happens all the time. It's like, if my guys got to resign, the other party's guys got to resign. But like Ronnie Jackson was he's never like considered like an icon among the Republican Party. Like if he resigns from his seat in Congress, like a Republican governor and Greg Abbott is just going to basically appoint him or hold a special election, and the Republicans probably going to win that too. So not a whole lot is lost by that. But what is interesting though is just how there are a lot of defenders of Cuomo, still a lot of defiant defenders who are basically saying, let's not Al Franken this thing. Let the investigation play out. Let it find out. Like, no, if this were a Republican, they call for him to resign right away.
I mean, that's what they did with Kavanaugh.
Yeah. And even after they did an FBI background check, they still wouldn't believe the FBI's conclusion that they couldn't find anything. They basically had no evidence to implicate Kavanaugh in sexually assaulting Christine Blasey Ford or Julie Swetnick or Debbie Ramirez. And then there were two New York Times reporters who basically wrote a book afterwards, and they basically became a laughingstock because of how they tried to profit off of this and completely mischaracterize everything that happened in the Kavanaugh saga. But I will say this, like, do I know 100% for sure what happened with Brett Kavanaugh when he was in high school? Of course not. Do I believe in people's right to due process? Absolutely. We'll see how this investigation play out. If Cuomo has lost the confidence of the people of New York enough to the point where he can't do his job effectively, then yes, absolutely, he should resign. In fact, there's a poll from Emerson, and this is from my colleague Jerry Dunleavy over at the Examiner, tweeting, Cuomo job approval in New York is 38% approved and 48% disapprove. 64% say he should not be reelected. 37% say the sexual harassment claims are grounds for resignation, and 34% disagree. 45% think he should resign over handling of COVID in nursing homes. 36% don't. So more people think that he should resign over his handling of the COVID nursing homes, which is reassuring, as opposed to the sexual harassment stuff, which, stuff gets, I mean, Jay, people get misunderstood all the time when it comes to interacting with others. The COVID stuff, like that shit's bad. We know there's a cover up. Mm-hmm. We know that his senior aide, the secretary, Melissa DeRosa, hid COVID-19 death statistics in nursing homes because they knew it was going to like hurt him. So
and they were also scared about like having them being implicated in a crime as well. They were scared that the DA was going to get a hold of these numbers too. Wasn't that one of the fears that they had? Like, not only was it going to make them look bad against Trump and all that kind of stuff, but they were afraid of the DA bringing it up. If this was DeSantis, I mean, we would hear like the New York Times going into flames because of how hard the reporters are writing on the fucking keyboards on how DeSantis wants to kill every fucking Floridian that lives in Florida. For fuck's sake, he gives shots to old people, and they're like, oh, he's favoriting white Republicans, and he wants all black people to die. Yeah. It's sick how fucking predictable these fucks are, and you have this clear-cut cover-up from Cuomo. Multiple women coming up against him saying like what he did to them. And this is what gets me the most. Every fucking reporter, every fucking DC insider and all this kind of stuff, they come out and they say everybody knows what Andrew's like. It's no secret that he's an asshole and a sexual harasser and all this kind of stuff. Everybody knows. That's the same fucking story we hear again and again. All the time from the same fucking people. It's like you're in these positions that you're supposed to hold these people accountable. Yeah. Why do you keep on letting them slide and then get fucking so butthurt when we say that journalists are in it for like they're propagandists, they lie to you, they mislead you, and they do all this kind of stuff. Why do you get hurt when you openly say that you knew all of this but you did nothing about it?
Yeah. And the problem is that people don't want to believe anything that's counter to what their current position is. It's that concept of cognitive dissonance, where if you're presented with new information, you won't believe that new information because it counters your actual internal narrative, whatever that may be. Just want to read a couple quick super chats. Big Rage, thank you. Thank you, Rach. Siraj, you're running a CIA black site on stream every time you play that song. Which song do you mean, Rachel? I'm puzzled. Which song do you mean?
I got the vaccine. You got
the and let's see, there's another super chat here. It was just here. Robert Jeffers, thank you, Robert, says, my crazy person, part of my brain half wonders if these harassment claims have come out now just to distract from his granny killing cover-up. It's a good chance. Gordon, thank you, Gordon, says, hey, there's another Crispy 5 spot in it for you will consider coming on our podcast. Coming how? Like joining your podcast or literally, coming?
Do you want us to come on your podcast when we're listening to it, like onto our iPhones while it's on, or
during it?
Whichever way, we got you. We're multi-talented.
That's true. We actually perform well under pressure, as you can tell. I'm literally reading the replies from me just playing like a second of that. So, give us that vaccine. Okay, so well, while that's all happening in New York, over in Texas and Mississippi, but we'll mainly focus on Texas. Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced Tuesday that he is lifting the state's mask mandate and increasing capacity of all businesses and facilities in the state to 100%, essentially. Abbott, a Republican, said the mandates are no longer needed due to advancements of vaccines and therapeutics to protect against COVID-19. His new executive order goes into effect on Wednesday, March 10th, and it rescinds most of the governor's earlier executive orders related to the coronavirus. And it's gotten a lot of interesting feedback. I will just say this about before we get into sort of the response and reaction to it. Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves made a similar announcement shortly thereafter on a shorter timeline, basically starting tomorrow, meaning today, Wednesday, that they're lifting all of the county mask mandates and businesses will be able to operate at full capacity without any state-imposed rules. Their hospitalization, Tate Reeves goes on to say that their hospitalization and case numbers have plummeted and the vaccine is being rapidly distributed. It is time. So are they getting back to a sense of normal? It's certainly looking like it. But man, you should really see the responses from some of these elite libs. First of all, we got Keith Olbermann here tweeting out, why are we wasting vaccinations on Texas if Texas has decided to join the side of the virus? Whoa. That's fucking wild. Okay, that's number one.
It's fucking hilarious.
Then we got Michael Moore tweeting out, Texas, we hear you. You didn't want to be part of our electrical grid, and now you've removed your mask mandate and are allowing large crowds to gather. We hear you. COVID is a hoax, so you don't need our precious vaccine. We'll send it to people who are saving lives by wearing masks. Like, really, dude? That's where you want to go? But here's the best part about it. Literally, a day after that announcement, today on Wednesday, the CDC announced that Americans with COVID-19 vaccine can gather indoors without masks. So pretty fucking hilarious how that all
it is. It's delicious. And it's really amazing that these, like, what are these fucks thinking that people need to have the government forcing them into wearing a mask 24/7? Like they can't think on their own. Like, or do we not have the ability to be adults and take the risks on our own fucking hands and stuff? The lockdowns are now showcasing that they have done a lot worse in the long term and in general than not having the lockdowns. And I think what the governors are doing is right. I think it's time for us to be reopened. We have a lot of people changing their tone on this as well. We saw California go from everything closed to opening 25% and reopening everything while the virus was still raging on. I mean, the virus was raging on even worse when he called for it to be open than when he closed it in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So they're not following any science either. None of these people who claim that they are all about the science are really actually following the science. The wanting of fear to be so embedded within you is so that they can make sure that they control you and they can tell you that this is what's best for you and that they're saving your life.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's all about control. And I think that people forget that when it comes to, who calls the shots around it, it doesn't matter that people are safe. It matters that that person who is calling the shots is calling the shots and like nobody's undermining them. So the fact that that Greg Abbott is basically going against the Biden administration a day before the CDC then announces that actually you guys can gather without masks if you have the COVID-19 vaccine. Fucking great. Let's fucking go. Why should I have to wear a mask around people if I got the vaccine? So
and this comes after I think it's been weeks. Fauci would come on and say, even with the vaccine, you need a social distance, you need to wear masks and stuff like that as well. And I think it's a very hurtful message. I think the CDC should have came out with this from day one when the vaccines were being distributed or even said that they're coming out. It's like, you know what? We're going to be able to have normal life again. We're like, once you get the vaccine, you can go back to having normal life. This would encourage more people to get the vaccine as well. Why place doubt on it? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's anti-vaxxers will just use that. I mean, what's better to have in your case than the face of the CDC and Fauci, the face of science, to come out and say, get the vaccine, don't get the vaccine. It's all the same shit.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to be more secretive about it, but I was like, if you're really so worried about, gathering without masks, just let the hand sanitizer cleanse your mind, body, and soul. Let's look at that.
All in her hair.
Yes. So where it's aiming, where's the landing?
Yes. Who thought that was a smart? That had to be.
No, I gotta
right after they saw it, they're like, "Who the fuck?"
They realized they fucked up when they got to their correspondent, and it's like literally right in her face,
right there.
Oh man!
Right in the eyes.
Right in the eye.
Shit!
You know that's the way you can get someone pregnant, Jay. I've been told from the countless adult films that I've watched.
I don't know what kind of adult films you're watching, but that is no way to get a person pregnant. Everyone knows you go through the ass.
I would have included that in the intro, but there wasn't enough time, so it is what it is. But you know, speaking of how the local state governments are handling COVID, the federal government's still fucking up quite a bit, and a lot of it is surrounding this COVID relief package. It's supposed to be $1.9 trillion, and they're just dragging it out. Basically, what's happening now is that President Biden has agreed to limit the number of people who get checks in the COVID relief plan. He's phasing out direct payments more quickly. In the new bill, the $1,400 checks in the Senate's version of the plan will start to phase out at $75,000 in income for individuals and $150,000 for joint filers, and end fully for those who earn $80,000 and $160,000 respectively. So the income caps are lower than those passed by the House. And moderate Senate Democrats have called to limit the scope of the payments as the party tries to pass its rescue plan in the coming days. That's one aspect of it, and a lot of people are pissed off. And you know, I don't know if any of the Habibis follow like the Biden L's account or Biden voters posting their L's, but there are a lot of people who are like, "Whoa, President Trump gave us more money than President Biden will." Like even at this rate, it's kind of crazy just seeing how this all play out in real time. What's even better is you have Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell telling Martha McCallum of Fox News that he's concerned that passing COVID relief and giving out $1,400 checks is going to make people or prevent some people from wanting to go back to work. And he seemed to suggest that it was more about he is concerned mostly that if you continue to give out relief, $1,400. I mean, like for one, before I get to my commentary on it, he thinks that $1,400 is going to be enough for people to say that I'm not going to go back to work. Like they're going to get $1,400 and they're going to be set for life. Like, motherfucker, it doesn't work like that. Like $1,400 barely covers rent in some places.
Barely in California.
Yeah, and in DC, like it's just not like that's maybe in like middle America, maybe in Kentucky where he's from, but like this shit ain't cutting it. And people don't want to be stuck at home all the time. Like maybe I'm okay with being at home because I got this going on, but like I still want to work. Like that's fucking crazy to think that like people don't want to work. Like this is like a form of welfare. Like people are fucking struggling. The unemployment rate is still higher than pre-COVID. It doesn't make sense to. I mean, like it falls in line with his when he put that poison pill back in the end of 2020 in December. He tied election integrity and Section 230 to the COVID relief bill, sort of, and that was in relation to raising the checks from $600 to $2,000. So it's insane. But Mitch McConnell is he is a Republican establishment. He's an elitist. I mean, he and his wife Elaine Chao, they make millions of dollars, and they're man's out of touch with the American people.
I think in some ways he is, and I don't know. I think Robert Jeffers, he comes up with a good comment. I don't know if he's. I didn't see the clip, so he might just be talking about the $1,400 checks, or he might be talking about the whole scope of it. I don't know. I think I
downloaded it. Let me pull it up.
Clip.
Give me 1 second. Here we go. Let me go and play it for you right now.
To make it a little less bad, but at the end of the day, my guess is they'll all fall in line and it'll pass with every single Democrat for it and every single Republican.
Do you think that the checks that are going out, there's some unemployment benefits, additional benefits that would run out in March. Do you believe that these checks prevent some people from wanting to work? Do you believe that?
Well, there is a concern about making it more advantageous to stay home rather than going back to work. Look, if we had it to do all over again, and we, meaning Republicans, may offer an alternative that we think fits the situation, and it's considerably less than 1.9 trillion, 500 or 600 billion, which is still an enormous amount of money, but highly targeted at the healthcare portion of the problem, vaccines, kids in school, and we need to make sure that.
I don't know why I ended right there, but basically,
that his face looked really. Yeah, I think he was. I think he was going also about all of the rest of the rest of it. I mean, it does sound like he was just talking about the checks, and her question was specifically the checks. But I think his answer was going in with the rest of the welfare benefits on unemployment.
I see what Robert Jeffers is saying. He's let's see, let me pull up that comment. He just had he said it's $1,400 on top of unemployment plus CARES, unemployment enhancement, food stamp bonuses, rent relief checks. There's a lot of money being thrown at people. Yeah, but not everybody knows how to apply for that shit. I mean, this is a lot of bureaucracy and red tape thrown in. The only thing that people were really getting based off of their tax returns was $1,400 or $600 plus whatever they got in the previous amount, which was what, 12? Was that 1,400? Was that 1,200? I don't fully remember. But I mean, it always, like, when money seems to be going to Americans, it's always a time when Republicans start to get frugal and put on their fiscal conservative hat. But like, the U.S. government throws money everywhere. We throw billions of dollars
at their lobbyists, at their fucking country aid and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, our defense budget really is crazy. Like, it is there. I just don't understand why our federal government can't just invest in its own people, and it just
I think
up the fucking wall.
And I think it's a very missed opportunity for him to be. No, you know what? The checks need to be higher. $1,400 checks is not enough for the American people. Like, fuck Biden up in terms of just make it an insane amount. Yeah. Just be like, you know what? No, it needs to be $2,400. $2,400 checks needs to go to the American people right now, and then force Biden's hand on it. Make it more sympathetic on one side, but it's a losing battle. And the thing is that they should have really pushed for. When Trump said, give me a bill for $2,000 checks, and I'll sign it right now. They should have pushed for that.
Yeah.
They really, really should have pushed for that. That would have been a winning message for them to go for it. But now it's in a limbo thing, and people are gonna suffer a lot. They're really, really going to suffer.
Ben the Lister says less money going to people, and it's still almost $2 trillion. Garbage deal. Yeah, where the fuck is all that money going? I mean, you got PPP, you got unemployment, you got the actual COVID relief bill. COVID relief checks, the stimmies. I need to actually see more about this bill to figure out exactly where that money's being appropriated. A couple of super chats. Angus Evans says Jim Sakai, or is that Saki, is always equipped with a mask because the Khan believes it's Chinese hoax, and it shows with the lack of social distancing in the Mongol camps. It's a nice Ghost of Tsushima reference right there. But Jinseki, Jen Sakai.
Jen Sakai.
Abe X9, thank you, Abe. Mitch is thinking $1,400 from when he worked his minimum wage job during the Civil War era.
Every one of these guys, they're such dinosaurs, man. They're such dinosaurs.
They
Like
really are. They really
aren't like
are.
all the senior, like the guys with the most power. They're all like what, above 60?
Yeah, they
at
are.
least.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going on the low end.
No, I mean, McConnell's 78. He'll be 84 by the time he's up for re-election in 2026. Yeah, 2026. Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Anyways, meanwhile, as this is all happening in the Senate and the White House, the House is currently working to pass H.R. 1, otherwise known as the For the People Act. And, there's a lot going on with that. We're not going to get too much into it, but what we really want to get into was what happened today, and that is with Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today in support of my amendment to H.R. 1, the For the People Act. H.R. 1 is bold, transformative legislation which fights voter suppression, promotes access to the ballot, cracks down on money in politics, and provides transparency to the American people. Passing this bill has never been more urgent.
I don't like
we
how
must
she
act
has
to
a better
protect and
shine than
preserve
I
our
do.
democracy. My amendment gets to the heart of H.R. 1 and recognizes the contributions that young people continue to make to our democracy. By lowering the federal voting age from 18 to 16 years of age, my amendment would enfranchise young Americans to help shape and inform the policies that will set the course for our future. From police violence to immigration reform to climate change to the future of work and minimum wage, our young people are organizing, mobilizing, and calling us to action. They are at the forefront of social movements and have more than earned inclusion in our democracy.
Okay, so she's pushing obviously for, you don't need to listen to the full clip, but you get the gist of it. She's looking to push her amendment of lowering the voting age, the federal voting age from 18 to 16. That didn't pass. And the reason why it probably didn't pass is because of how when people actually went to go see what 16-year-olds do nowadays, this is what they saw. I'm just gonna play that again on mute.
It's too good.
Yeah,
it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, so the bill failed. The amendment failed. It's just so funny. The amendment failed by a vote of 125 to 302. But majority of Democrats voted in favor from 125 to 93. And I mean, this came up after the Parkland shooting in 2018, so about 3 years ago. And people were calling on how the 16-year-olds should be voting because of how a bunch of 16-year-olds organized the March for Our Lives. And that was enough to be like, yep, they got to vote. We need them. We need them because we'll never win another election. Because ultimately, let's be real. I mean, it's not. I mean, well, actually, I will say this. Gen Z is interesting because Gen Z is showing they have a bit of a conservative edge to them now. I think a lot of them realize that. I think early on that some of the stuff that they're seeing is bullshit, and they don't fuck with it. But I we'll never really know what 16-year-olds actually feel because they're not voting. So
fuck them.
Fuck them kids, right? Basically, Congress looked at that bill and said, "Fuck them kids."
That's how I view it. I mean, I'm surprised that 18-year-olds are allowed to vote. I mean, for fuck's sake, I'm 33 and I'm surprised I'm allowed to vote. Like, fuck.
Yeah, and Jay, you should not be allowed to vote
do and
at
stuff.
all.
Like, all I want to do is make ass eating mandatory, and like you have to do at least twice a day.
Yeah,
that's my. I'm a one voter vote issue person. That's who I am. And the thing is, most of us we're fucking dumbasses at 16, at even 18. Fuck. I mean, the thing is like they want to think that the more people that they can just allow to vote is going to make them into the most power. It's just mind-boggling to me. Like, why that? You know what? Fuck it. Let's make it 12 and have the parents vote for them.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. I mean, this is coming from the same people that think that an 8-year-old can decide whether or not to chop his dick off. So it makes zero. It makes I don't see any problem. Surprise that they will actually think that they should be allowed to vote as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're gonna lower the voting age, we should also lower the age in which anyone's allowed to become president. So lower it down to 18. Why the fuck?
Fuck yeah. 18-year-olds can become president.
16-year-olds like 2 years to at least experience the civics, civics and government, and understand the procedures that are involved in our democracy. And fuck it, when they turn 18, all of them have to start running for president. All 18-year-olds in the country.
Man, they barely teach civics in this fucking country in throughout high school.
Hey,
like it's such a fucking shame. It really is.
What do they say? Experience is the best teacher. How else are you going to learn about our political and civic system unless everybody runs for president?
Fuck. I mean, seeing the people that we have in Congress, like AOC and shit like that, that becomes more evident that they think that going out there with no experience to gain experience is the way to do the job.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this: it does make our laws make zero sense. You can go to war at 18, but you can't drink till you're 21, and now you can't smoke until you're 21.
Right.
And if you are legal to die for your country, you should be allowed to smoke and drink, and also do drugs. Fuck it. Throw drug legalization in there.
Yep, and fuck Dan's mom in the ass.
I will say this though, there's obviously, and this is kind of a tangent here, but I just want to point this out, because as soon as we talk about drug legalization, which I'm for to an extent, you then also have to talk about basically releasing all nonviolent drug offenders and pardoning them en masse, because there's no justice in that. If you start just like in as soon as in like 2014 when Colorado and Washington State passed laws to legalize marijuana, and you had dispensaries around, you still have people in prison in those states who are locked up or were locked up because they were arrested for illegal possession of marijuana or selling or distributing marijuana. So that shit doesn't make sense. So there should be some, I mean, of course, no one wants to talk about that, but that's what it is.
It is.
Unfortunately. Chris Kinder. That's 100%. Chris Kinder says, we let young New York Times employees vote. Can you imagine what it would be like if we let 16-year-olds vote? It'd be kind of wild. It would be wild. Robert Jeffers, thank you. Robert says, if we need to regulate the age of gun owners because they're dangerous, need to do the same for voting. A lot of dub youngs just elected a guy who bombed Syrians. Dub youngs?
I think you meant Den Youngs.
Dumb youngs.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
I want to point out another thing that's interesting about HR1, because there's an article in the Washington Post, an opinion article. I'm not looking for like major discussion on this, just because it's a big complicated bill, and there's a lot of different aspects of it. And this is the problem with like comprehensive bills, is that you ultimately are going to fuck up on a number of things. The ACLU wrote an opinion piece. Kate Ruan and Sonia Gill, who are legislative counsels at the ACLU. Now, whatever you want to think about the ACLU, they've probably gone down a very partisan route in the last few years. But one thing that they highlight in HR1 that is potentially very, very damaging, and they realize this because one of the things about HR1 is that they're trying to eliminate dark money in politics. So basically, HR1 in an attempt to find the solution to the problem of dark money. It requires the public disclosure of names and addresses of donors who give $10,000 or more to organizations that engage in campaign-related disbursements, which could include paid political speech that discusses a public issue such as immigrants' rights, voting rights, or reproductive freedom, if the communication merely mentions a candidate for public office. So that means an ad criticizing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi for supporting immigration reform or criticizing Senator Ted Cruz for opposing the Equality Act could trigger disclosure of donors that gave $10,000 or more. So really, what happened is, in an effort to try to stamp out dark money, Democrats realized, or at least these two legislative councils, the ACLU, realized that, oh shit, if we pass this, we're going to be held to the same rules that we're going to be holding the Republicans to, and we can't have that. So, right. So basically, like, this whole idea about like dark money is like, you know, you could donate to PACs, you could donate to particular organizations and not have your name disclosed to the public, because a lot of super PACs do not disclose donor names. And to a lot of people, that was initially a problem. That's why Citizens United was a thing. But it's just funny seeing how the same rules that Democrats want to pass, it's gonna impact everyone, not just Republicans. I know.
Yeah.
So it's just an interesting aside. And they want to fix that right now. Will HR1 pass? I have no idea. It'll pass probably the House, but will it pass a 50-50 Senate?
I doubt it. I really, really doubt it's going to. And the thing is like, with this climate and everything, I think people deserve being anonymous and having their safety.
Anonymity is so important
when it comes to donating, especially now, because the thing is, look, there are crazies on both sides. I'm like, we can't hide this fact whatsoever. So if you have anything out there that somebody on the other side doesn't like, right, they will come after you. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be from a tweet. It can be whatever. So can you imagine if it is donating to somebody they think is wanting to kill everyone and kill 1 million people or bring socialism into America? Like, it's I think it's so important for people to be able to feel comfortable expressing their right here in the United States, because it's also a free speech thing. Like, if you want to donate money to a political issue, that's your right, and you should be able to do it safely. There shouldn't be fear of them coming after you.
The First Amendment. Political speech. Anyways, Nate Beebe, thank you. Nate says, "End women's suffrage now." # repeal the 19th. Wink, smiley.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Inshallah.
That's how we get closer.
Yes.
So, this is actually kind of funny, because in light of all the other politics that's going on, you have your HR1, you have your COVID stimmies, you have basically, the mask mandates, and how, Andrew Cuomo can't stop touching people while killing your grandma. Look who fucking showed up to the party.
But who knows? I may even decide to beat them for a third time, okay?
That was former President Trump speaking at CPAC 2021 in Orlando, Florida this past weekend.
I love how he said, "I might beat him for a third time," and it went and like fact checkers and fucking people, media personalities and stuff went fucking insane.
Heads fucking exploded. And like, you had the Aaron Rupars and the Daniel Dales of the world just being like, "This is so fucking dangerous." So, man can't just he can't talk shit. I mean, man cannot. Man's can't. They can't let the man talk shit or talk his shit.
Talk his shit. And the funny thing about his show on CPAC and stuff, like, it was a roundabout of like the greatest hits and all that kind of stuff, but it really showcased like to me anyways, I don't know about like a lot of the other people, but like, to me, it was like nobody really missed the guy as much as fucking like the media personalities out there really missed the guy and stuff.
100%.
Like that was my take off of it. And also talking to some, I mean, it's just a couple of friends here and there who were and who are like a little bit Trumpian and stuff like that. They felt the same way. But I don't know. It's just a few people that I was talking to, but I just think
I mean, it's funny. Like I watched the speech, and there were times where he was actually really funny, especially when he was like hitting Joe Biden on, I want to say on vaccines. I think this is the bit.
But who knows?
Oh, that wasn't it. That was the exact same clip that I played earlier. This is it.
Yet Biden said just a few days ago that when he got here, meaning the White House, there was no vaccine. He said, there's no vaccine? Oh, good. Say it again, Joe. Now, I don't think he said that, frankly, in a malicious way. I really don't. I actually believe he said that because he didn't really know what the hell was happening.
It's just like it's going after his mental state, saying Biden doesn't know what's going on, like he has no idea what's happening around him. It's classic Trump. It's the stand-up comedy that people, even his detractors, are like, okay, that's just kind of funny.
That was really good. That was really good. I mean, if we see him, actually, you know what? I take it back. If we see him, I just had a shot of whiskey, but if we see him come back and he starts hitting Biden like this and stuff, it might actually be greater than when we had him running against Hillary, because we have such fucking like voter remorse on Biden in the first like month and a half in comparison to the Trump like voter remorse, because there was Trump voter remorse after a few
Trump
months.
voters posting their L's all the time. I saw it throughout the Trump presidency how Breitbart, I think after the very first Syrian airstrike in 2017. Oh no, it was this is when the Breitbart first turned on. It was when Trump pressured Attorney General Jeff Sessions to recuse himself from the Russia probe. That was the first sign.
Yes,
that was the first. That was the first sign that really broke things for Trump voters, because they realized that holy shit, we elected a guy with no governing experience, and he's just shooting himself in the foot left and right.
Yes, and I think we saw, but I think what we're seeing with what's going on with Biden is just hilarious, because it's not only Biden voters themselves, it's a lot of the left, like the far leftist socialist like fucks as well, that are really, really like just fucking enraged with Biden being president. Like, I think they'll be less enraged if Trump was president, because they could at least pretend to look like heroes going up against Trump. But now they just look like, misogynistic, racist, fucking far leftist Bernie bro dumbasses who, whenever they say anything against Biden.
Well, if things were returned to normal, I don't think people would be as angry. But the fact that things are still really bad right now with the pandemic. I mean, yes, obviously there's hope. But with the vaccine and, lifting of mask mandates, despite the fact of what some people on the left are saying about like how they should just let everyone die. There is reason for hope. And, but I think some people are just so down the rabbit hole that you get shit like this. You get Blue Anon people basically posting how the stage at CPAC was literally a Nazi room. Look at the stage. Look at that. They think that's a Nazi symbol. Literally. Right. I mean, it was that's completely unintentional for one. And then they found out that it was actually reported that the quote unquote Nazi stage was designed by Design Foundry, a company that has worked for Biden and MSNBC, and 98% of the company political donations have gone to Democratic candidates. It's just like, and people just don't believe it. Like they think that all of like it's like a false flag operation. Like, oh, they're
Right.
and that they're all Democrats because that gets them away from any culpability. Like, actually, if it were like 70 years ago and it was a Democrat making this, everyone would be like, oh, that makes sense.
Right.
So
no, it's really hilarious. And we don't have the same like fucking frivolous reporting on shit like this as we do on QAnon crazies as well. And this is just as, to me, it's just as crazy. Like they always are seeing an underlining scheme of like fascist white supremacist Nazism going to be taking over the world, while you have the other side saying like socialism is going to be taking over the world and shit. It's like, it's fucking insane, and it just comes out to be like, this is what it is. Like, it's so.
I mean, look, we had the Cold War. That's still ingrained in our memory. I think there are a lot more people who still think legitimately that communism is going to take over the world, and they think that there's a communist insurgency here in the United States through the socialist Democrat movement, through the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. While it is important to understand that, I don't think that anybody would allow socialism to overtake capitalism here in the United States. Look, we all know it doesn't take a lot to change the system entirely. It takes, a little push, really. I mean, if you look at how 9/11 happened pushed us towards passing the Patriot Act, invading Afghanistan and Iraq, leaving us with a housing crisis, an economic recession, Barack Obama, and then Donald Trump leading us to Joe Biden and the pandemic. Look, everything happens for a reason. So I happen to think that when it comes to this stuff, the conspiracy theorists, I don't know if they win, but they definitely have a louder microphone than they do, or megaphone than they do, say, 20 years ago. And that should be concerning. And we should at least recognize that they have a certain level of influence and not try to, I should say, dismiss them outright. Actually challenge their positions, because some of it may be crazy, but they might have legitimate grievances that affect them. So,
but you bring up a good point. It's better to confront them head on than ban them outright from everything, because they're just going to find other ways to just cuddle up together and talk to one another and not be challenged, because they're banned from everywhere else to be actually talked to and challenged.
Yeah.
And I think like that aspect of it is very, very important for us to be able to have those type of discussions.
Yeah. I think I've gone on too long. It's earned time. Time to do it. We're doing it right now.
Get our king. I'll read some of your guys' questions out loud, because again, the boomer doesn't know how to give me access to do this. Dan from last night, I am very happy that you are going to get your PS5 from the money your mom gives me for giving her a good time. So enjoy it, Dan. Enjoy it. We do not have a vaccine. What do we have? What do we have a vaccine for, Robert? Matt White, the bottle today, I'm finishing it. It's done right now. It's called Legend, and it's actually a collab of a Japanese blender and a Kentucky bourbon craftsman or something. So it's like, it's whatever. I just got it to drink it all. My favorite NFL team right now. Well, the thing is, Shivan, is I used to live overseas most of my life, from when I was like 8 until I was like 28. So I was always a Premier League guy. I love Manchester United, and I still love Manchester United. I came back in, started getting back into American football and the NFL. Really was rooting for Tom Brady to win just because it's a fucking feat. But I'm going to become a Rams fan because I'm here in California, and it just makes sense. I should be a Rams fan. But next year, like, I'm still going to be like rooting for Tom Brady while I'm a Rams fan.
It's okay. None of us are perfect.
Anthony, I will find you some love, but number one, do you eat ass? Yes or no? That's the question. You say yes, that's good. Go out, say it. Let it give you that confidence. Yeah, you eat ass. That's what they're looking for. You are there to do it. Give them the fucking pleasure. You eat ass. Say it.
I mean, speaking of ass, getting to our final. Whoa, actually, you know what? No, let's get to our final story. We don't have to talk about a 2024 run for Trump. It's all speculation at this point. But
right.
You know, in our premium episode, for those of you who didn't watch but caught maybe a glimpse of it, we talked about how there was a diplomatic team of American diplomats from the State Department who went to travel to China, and the Chinese government forced them to get COVID tests by anal swab. Forced them. And there seemed to be some suggestion that there wasn't any really pushback from the American diplomatic delegation. And
I wouldn't push back.
Basically a nightmare where you have literally a government, an adversarial government, performing what is a rather humiliating procedure on a bunch of Americans, a bunch of American government officials at that. And I don't care who you are, if you're a Republican, Democrat, anybody disrespecting an American from any other government is fucking humiliating. So, but the main development that's happened since is that now China has made anal COVID-19 swabs mandatory for all foreign travelers arriving in the country. And the government has claimed that such tests provides a higher degree of accuracy than other screening methods for the virus. And I shit you not, Jay, the memes that have been produced as a result beforehand.
Brand new. I just got this right now. I'm waiting for my visa to go to China. And I'm going to go and check this out. The funny thing is, this is brand new because the last one I had, I wish I had the photo of it.
Just
I was like,
don't show us any of the numbers because that's just a really bad.
I was 16. I was 16 years old when I did that.
If you show, no.
But look at this. Look at this sexy motherfucking guy right now.
If you show us the numbers, the Chinese are just going to come to your house and give you an anal swab.
Oh, that's 69 420
nice
69
nice
42.
Nice.
But
That's
look
very
at
nice.
this. That's a stud right there. But no, seriously, I want to go. I need to go and what's it called? I need to go and inspect it for myself. Make sure that they're doing it right. I need to administer the anal swab and then taste the cotton off of the swab just to make sure it's up to code.
Mm-hmm.
You're
the quality control.
Yes.
Yeah,
I do.
Faces and not poor choice of words, Siraj. Well,
that's what.
The mind goes where it goes. So
it does.
It does. Actually, Habibis, we're 69 minutes into the show. Very nice.
Very nice. That's essentially really nice.
Essentially 100% nice.
And Big Rach, I know I look like a porn star in that photo, but I was just thinking about eating Dan's mom's ass. So that's the reason why you get the smirk.
Yeah. Well, Habibis, we've covered everything we needed to cover tonight. Of course, some of the topics that we wanted to cover tonight will be slating for the premium episode. with our friend Red Steezy. So go ahead and ask us anything, since we're talking about anal swabs from China. Literally, go ahead and ask us.
Do it.
Do it.
Ask us.
Ask us. Shivan asked, where's Red Steezy? I said in the beginning of the show, program note, he's not joining us tonight. He'll be joining us on Friday for the weekend premium show.
Yes, he's busy with Dan's mom right now.
Yeah. Nolan Harris says, how many overseas assassinations has Earn carried out since he's taken office? Well, if I tell you, he's going to carry out one more, and that's going to be on you, Nolan Harris, regardless of where you are. So might want to be careful what you ask. Abex sign, you're not talking about Dr. Seuss. We're going to wait for that for the premium episode because we got thoughts about it, or we don't have enough thoughts about it, and we need to do our research. No, I mean, just to give you a quick lowdown on it, you know, the books that they supposedly removed, the 6 books, I've never read them. I have no idea what the imagery is like. And I actually don't know anything about Dr. Seuss as a person. So it's almost impossible for me to comment on something I don't know that much about. So we'll talk about it when we learn a little bit more about it, just to get a sense. I really hate it when people talk about things they don't know about and act like they know it. And I'm just going to tell you straight up, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. That's the best answer I can give you. And when I don't know something, I'll tell you straight up, I don't know. So, Rachel Steyer says, when's Jen Rubin coming on? Coming on who? Me or Jay?
Coming on you.
Well, that happens
on you
quite frequently. Actually, I'm kind of mad because Jen Rubin never responds to any of my tweets. So I think she muted me.
Never respond. Well, that's insane that she never does.
Faye asks, can you make the press conferences a regular feature? You know, we're trying. This is 2 weeks running now. We do a cold open. Literally, it comes at spur of the moment. I thought about it yesterday, thinking like, oh, can we do something? I don't know. And then I saw the Cuomo presser today. I was like, you know, maybe we could actually do something. So, James says, I'm going to hate myself for this, but could you play the vaccine song again?
You're not, James. James, you are true. Habibi.
Thought you would never ask. I'm so glad everyone's going to dunk on James, and I'm just going to say, James, thank you so much.
The vaccine, you got the vaccine, they got the vaccine, we got the vaccine. We can get back to normal, let me inform you, let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me. If Doc says it's good, then trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine. Alright, there is none higher. DMC, I will inspire. Time for us to trust and not debate. The vaccine, believe it's safe to take. 9 out of 10 people won't get sick. That's 90% effective and legit. This COVID thing is real and it will find you. It's killing out people, let me remind you. Back in the days, there was polio, smallpox, back in the days. Measles and mumps, man, back in the days. But because of the vaccines, none of those things. Vaccines, they work to trigger immunity. 2 shots, we got antibody security. We gotta act now, no need to wait. Get your vaccine before it's too late, for real.
I love how many people are shitting on James.
I know, he's fucking hating him. In the full song.
It's so good. Just going through start to finish.
Absolutely, everything, the whole fucking thing.
I'm literally cooking every single comment. Oh man, it's so good. But yes, Habibis, continue asking us your questions. Ask us anything. And I seriously mean you can add anything. Ask
anything whatsoever.
Oh man, I just love
Oh man.
Mary gave us Mary super chat. Thank you, Mary. Do you think there will be a conversion therapy for homosexuality? Be well, Habibi's lots of love. Thank you, Mary. I think it's happening slowly but surely. What do you think, Jay?
I think it is slowly happening, and I think we should be seeing more of it come into play because the way that they did it, like it was so like everything they would be like against Trumpianism and Trumpism for and all this kind of stuff, and it was like that times 10 because the people doing it are like Washington Post columnists, like New York Post columnists, like New York Times columnists and shit. It's just, it was so embarrassing. There needs to be a huge, I think there needs to, and I think you should do this, is all the side-by-sides of journalists on Washington Post, on New York Times, like all of these guys who did op-eds on like, oh, Cuomo should be the front runner for the presidency, and if only Trump was like more like Cuomo, all that kind of stuff would be just fantastic to see.
Big Trust, currently working on a big project of that undertaking right now. Ben knows what I'm talking about, but we're gonna have something out pretty soon.
Hey, fire Ben.
Hey, fire Ben. Always fire Ben. Eric Halverson says, thoughts on the new gun control bills? Will some of them pass? That's a very good question. I can imagine in the purple districts and purple states, it's going to be a very tough sell. I think some Democrats are going to be willing to risk their political careers on voting for more gun control, if that means risking their seats. So look, in a divided Senate like now, 50-50, it's going to take a lot really to get 10 Republicans on board. Cause I don't think you, unless you could get it through reconciliation, which I don't think they can. I don't think you're going to get this bill. I don't think you're going to get any bills on gun control past the floor. Past the Senate. It's just, look, Democrats have wasted their political capital so much already. It's insane. I didn't think they would be this bad at governing, but they've proven how bad they are at governing.
They really did.
Like Republicans were bad at governing in the first 2 years of the Trump presidency. Like they wasted all their time on fucking tax relief and they were doing Obamacare repeal, but like they didn't have a replacement.
The Obamacare repeal was fucking stupid.
It was fucking garbage. Like, and it's just amazing how piss poor they all are at governing. But like, even more so now because nobody can get their head out of their ass and actually think for 2 goddamn seconds about what we need to prioritize, and that it really is about COVID. Like the fact that we still under Biden, we're more than a month into his presidency, and we still don't have a COVID relief bill passed. That's fucking insane. I don't care who you are. That is insane shit.
It really is.
So, yeah. I mean, I will say passing a gun control bill, or at least even discussion about it, will cause gun sales to go through the roof, and ammo is going to get sold out super quickly.
For sure.
And
but I mean, it already is. Like it's still pretty fucking hard.
Yeah. But Robert says machine and cinema will never support that. That is true. I mean, I know you meant mansion, but you spelled it machine, so I wanted to pronounce it as machine. Let's see what other questions we got. Oh, Matt Weiss giving us $10.69 Canadian.
Matt, why do you listen to Matt all the time? We have to pay Matt 69 cents now.
Yeah, seriously, what the fuck? He says for Jay's bottle fun and not Siraj music choices. Yes. Tough but fair.
And guys, if you guys are on the Discord server and stuff like that, I'm taking bourbon recommendations that I would drink and review as well. So this was the Legion, and it's not too bad. I mean, still Angel's Envy is my favorite by far out of all the ones I've drank. Like this one's a good solid 7. Price is a little steep for it for the way
By the way,
the way
the
it tastes.
Habibis who are not in the Discord server, there's actually a link in the description for you to join it, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. You don't have to include it in the chat, but it's actually in the description of the video. Shell Shocks asks, what kind of candidates do the Dems run against DeSantis in Florida? You know, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they could actually run Andrew Gillum with all the shit he's gone through and actually probably do pretty well, because Gillum has somehow throughout the controversy he's been a part of. And I wouldn't say controversy. I would say that what was initially a controversial thing of him being with a male escort, and then basically admitting to having a substance abuse problem. Like, our society is far more progressive in terms of being understanding to people who are going through substance abuse, because look, no matter where you are on the spectrum, you know somebody who has issues with substance abuse. And so I think Andrew Gillum could actually make a pretty big comeback in a way to run for governor again in 2022 against DeSantis. Now, will he win? That's another thing, because Florida's demographics are shifting more and more towards the Republican side. I mean, if you recall in the 2020 election, Trump actually, I think, widened his base in Florida in particular, specifically with Hispanic voters and Latinos.
Yes.
Or the
and also DeSantis, with all the bad press that he's getting, he's actually been doing really pretty fucking well in handling COVID.
He actually, the numbers on him are actually pretty stunning, because for people who are not fans of Trump, they're fans of DeSantis. So
yes,
and DeSantis he's basically like a cleaned up version of Trump. Like, he does have a populist streak about him. And he definitely hits back at the press. But he remains somewhat a polished politician, so that he can still maintain his popularity amongst people who are sort of more towards the moderate wing of the Republican Party.
You should bring up this one picture that it's in the Discord server under Habibis of the Round Table. JT, he posted a pic of DeSantis in a distachia and wearing a really good Emirati kebaya. It looks so good. It looks so good. Like, and you're right. To me, he's a much more cleaned up version of Trump. Like, he fights back when he needs to fight back, and especially against how demonizing the media tries to portray the guy. Even though Florida has been doing so much better than New York and better than there it is. It's too good, and it looks so great. It really does. That he wore this, he would win all 52 states.
All 50,
as he was running for president.
All 69 states he'd win.
Nice.
Very nice.
But I'm all in. I'm all in for if DeSantis runs for 2024. I'm all in. Like I haven't been like I haven't voted in the presidential elections last this one or last one. I haven't voted. I didn't vote for either candidate. But if DeSantis runs, I would vote for him for president.
Wow, Jay. You really fall hard. You're really down bad for people in distashes.
I do. Like, and especially for people who look that good in distashes.
Man. Such a simp.
I'm a DeSantis. I'm a DeSantis.
You're a DeSantis. Robert Jeffers asked, can he run? Was it a felony arrest? I don't know. I thought it was a misdemeanor, but I mean,
I don't know how that
really. Anthony Rivera says, I felt bad for Gillum, if anything. See, that's why I think he could probably make a comeback story, is because I think more people, even people who disagree with him, have some sympathy for the guy and realize that he's a human being and he has struggles and he has inner demons. And, if he can overcome that, it's a great comeback story. People, nobody loves comeback stories more than Americans. We are basically a nation founded on the comeback story.
We are. You can go from a felony to a governor.
It was founded on coming of the back.
I love coming on the back.
That's his foundation right there. Let's see. Eric, thank you. Eric says, can Jay top the backgrounds from the last weekend's Power Hour? It's gonna be
We'll see. We're gonna see on Friday.
Yeah,
I mean Sunday when we release the premium episode.
Yeah. So anyways, Habibis, unless you don't have any other questions for us, I'm looking through here right now, see if there are any other it's your boy. Says, do you think Trump is responsible for the GOP losing the presidency, Senate, and House? Look, the buck stops with the president, and if the president is able to keep the presidency, Senate, and House, falls on him. So yes, absolutely.
If we're blaming the losses of the House and the Senate on Obama when he was president,
absolutely,
those are two. So then it comes to pass to say that yes, he is, and especially at the end of it, especially how he was towards Georgia, it does follow him 100%.
Captain Freejack says the Venn diagram of people who like Gillum and the vaccine song is a perfect circle. Anthony Rivera says, did you guys see the video of Biden getting cut off when he said he was open to questions? I did see it.
Yes, it was
White
so
House
good.
was not happy with that.
Oh my God. How refreshing.
Let
Seriously,
me see if I
how
can find that
refreshing.
right now.
That was so good. Okay, I'm open for Well, it goes to show he's not the guy who's actually running things over there. Whoever thinks that is a fucking sham.
Yeah, I'm trying to download it real quick just so I can throw it up on here. But yeah, that was just like his handlers are like, all right, Grandpa, that's enough. You did.
It's done. Yeah. We're good.
You have nothing left to prove. Don't say anything. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Let's see here. I got it right here. Boom.
Thank you. And I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nance, whatever you want me to do.
And
thank you. I'm about to take questions. That's what I'm supposed to do. It's like
too good.
Dude.
Too good.
So it's so
Shivan asked Siraj, who do you think will be New England's starting quarterback in 2021? God, that's a great question. Honestly, I don't know if New England can pull off one of these big trades with getting Russell Wilson or even signing Aaron Rodgers, but that'd be fucking crazy if they were able to.
If they took Aaron Rodgers, especially because he wants to get out of there, fuck, that would be insane. That would be.
I could see Aaron Rodgers.
If I saw that happen, that would be great. Because to be honest, a guy who's been fucked over more than anything in the NFL really is Aaron Rodgers, to be like completely frank. And it was really funny because it's like who's the one person who can win everything but not his team, and that's Aaron Rodgers. That's Aaron. He wins MVP more times than anyone, and he has no rings to show for it except for one. He has one ring. He's a guy who's supposed to have as many rings as Tom Brady. He's honestly a fucking he's too good of a quarterback to stay at Green Bay. Too good. He has to get the fuck out of there. They fuck him over way too many times. And he's too good. He's so nice. He just bends over and takes it.
Yeah, but there's a good chance that Cam Newton will sign back with the team. And I like Cam. He just needs receivers. And he's not the most accurate passer, but I really like Cam. And I think Cam really finally I think he gels with Bill Belichick. And I like it. I like him personally. Prison Mitch says LMFAO, check out the pic in the DM, Siraj. This is all right. This is Brian Karam here. America needs journalist mass. He tweets out, everyone deserves to get the vaccine. Trump is not cool because he pissed people off. Wear a mask, act like an adult. Peace. Okay, that's one.
These guys, the
oh shit, America needs lists. Perfect.
That's
Look at those
beautiful.
glasses and that hat too.
The guy is a fucking moron, idiot. Like, look at this fuck. Most journalists are like this guy. They're fucking just, especially DC journalists. What is like all the people who made themselves sound like they're such heroes and shit? Where are they now? Where's Jim Acosta? He's running around trying to find Trump in any golf course that he's at. That's what he's doing. That's the best he's doing and shit. And then you have this guy wearing fucking women's glasses and a stupid hat and just tweeting about Trump, thinking that he's fuck these people, man. Okay, I'm getting drunk. I'm gonna get on my Twitch channel.
Yeah, hold on one second before we go. Jack Lane asks, Siraj, what's up with the Celtics? Do you think they trade for Bradley Beal? Well, Marcus Smart's been injured. That's their best defensive player. And with him gone, they're losing games that they shouldn't be losing. And do I think they trade for Bradley Beal? That's a big trade. I don't think they do that. I think right now I'm losing a little bit of faith in Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens. So I don't think they're going to make that trade. But
I need to.
Once Marcus Smart comes back and they get a rhythm going, I think they'll be fine. But they're just in a bad stretch right now. So
I need to get more into basketball. That's one thing I need to get more into as well.
I love basketball. It's such a great sport. So many different, different drama lines and shit. It's just, it's a game of big personalities, and it's a fun game to watch. And I could watch literally any game and be entertained by it, just like soccer and football. Motherfucker, I can watch any sport really and be entertained by it. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is I really enjoy watching athletes perform at the highest level and having the free time to watch it. Although if it's like my team, like if it's like me watching Arsenal, I fucking hate every minute of it because it's just nonstop anxiety.
Well, it's because they just play to hurt you. They just play to hurt you.
They beat the shit out of Leicester City, which was nice, and they beat Benfica. I mean, there's no chance in the Premier League that they have. They're like 10th right now. They got to win the Europa League to have any chance. So I'm just rooting for them to win the Europa. So anyways, Habibis, that's all for Habibi Power Hour. I've been Siraj Hashmi.
And I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And make sure you subscribe to Habibi Bros at patreon.com/Habibi Bros. Make sure this weekend, new episode. We got hopefully Steezy on the podcast. We will see you, Habibis, then. In the meantime, love you, Jay. Hope you all have a great night.
Love you, Sippy.
Master Dama. Peace.
Walaikum assalam.